away from that one either. Sean Michael Robinson, I have a question for Dave. Were there any story elements that you regretted from a plotting perspective, including, followed by question mark, that is regretted while still in the process of the book, or times when an improvisation or less planned element made your job harder for the duration of the book or the series? The closest to that, the short answer is no, that didn't happen because I have pretty good instincts when it comes to distilling plot elements down and saying, okay, here's what I have to cover in this issue, this 20-page span, and I want to cover this, and I want to cover this, and I want to cover this. What are the best tricks that I can bring to the table so that it doesn't look contrived and pasted on, but I can say all of the things that I have to say about it, and where I'm making a political point about the nature of politics itself. Here, these five panels that take care of that. Making fun of it, that's these 2 pages here. And then having that sort of like roughly mapped out up ahead. I know basically the next 40 pages after these 20 pages and what I want to cover there. So all of that's being worked on again unconsciously while I'm micromanaging my panel pages today of what I'm working on. The closest to it of what he's talking about was probably bringing Nick and Keith in and going, how do I get these guys out of this book? This was supposed to be, sort of like 10-page throwaway. Oh, okay. I'll do a whole issue because this is just too much fun and I'm coming up with too many ideas. And it's like, wait a minute. This is Cerebus. This is not Rolling Stones comics. We're definitely getting into dicey areas of fair use versus not fair use. I have that a little bit with Cerebus and Hell. I've got that happening, as a matter of fact, right now with Spider-Vark, where I want to do a really good Steve Ditko homage with Cerebus, with Spider-Vark, and I want to make it funny, and I also want to stay true to Benjamin Hobbs' original cover idea, or as close as I can get to it. As soon as I came up with Cerebus trying to woo the Whore of Babylon back from Spider-Vark to him by becoming a feminist, and what Cerebus thinks the feminist is, that became one of those situations. It's like, Dave, it says on the cover, the amicable Spider-Vark. Do the amicable Spider-Vark. And stop coming up with these Cerebus the feminist. But then, just the other day, I sat down and I have to do my drawing of, stock Cerebus shots, but he's got his frilly apron on with a big flower on the front of it and rubber gloves, and he's waving a scrub brush around over his head. And it's like, see, this isn't helping. You're supposed to not be thinking about this. Spider-Vark, read your Spider-Man Essentials volume. Get your brain over there. So you actually helped with that. You faxed through the Dante and Virgil and Cerebus with the spider creature in Hell.
Yeah.
Yes, and you had you did a couple of lines of dialogue under it, what you came up with, I went, oh, I know what I'm going to do with that. Oh, yeah, that's, that's a good way to get Dave's brain out of Cerebus the Feminist and back onto Spider-Vark. So that will be a 5-page origin of Spider-Vark, and you are credited on it.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
The problem now is you got Cerebus as a feminist on the brain, and I'm immediately, this little voice in the back of my head is like, you really need to start Googling classic Archie's Girlfriend Betty and Veronica covers and find a good one that we can parody. And there, Dave, shove all the feminist Cerebus into that issue.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be. What comic book we would do a parody of that, where all the untold tales of wooing the Whore of Babylon back. The credit, again, trying to make this look as close to my Spider-Man Essentials, the Ditko material, and the credit where they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we describe how this is put together so that Steve Ditko is getting credit for what he's doing instead of making it sound like Stan Lee did all of this. And so I sort of made a joke out of that, and your credit is plotted and faxed by manly Matt Dow, and then mangled and manipulated by dandy Dave Sim.
That's classic.
So yeah, and I'm sitting there going, okay, I've got 10 issues of Spider-Man to pick from here. Where are the different credits? Which credit box am I going to do? Oh, this one with the jagged edges. This would be. I was wondering if Sam Rosen, Sam Rosen, the letterer, put the jagged edges on there because of how Stan Lee and Steve Ditko were getting along by then. That's something that we're not going to know.
Now I gotta go grab my Marvel Masterworks and start looking at the credit pages on all the Spider-Man issues. When did they get jagged? And did the jaggedness get worse?
Looking at it, it's very funny that Stan Lee definitely had his tongue in cheek through all of that time. It's like anytime there was space for a caption and an arrow pointing at somebody, what the heck? Let's throw a gag in here. Let's throw in something funny. Sturdy Steve Ditko came up with this the concept for this issue, and there's a bunch of really different ideas. So let's get started here, kind of thing. And I tried to make it look as much like a Marvel title. It's issue 29 of Spider-Man was called "Never Step on a Scorpion." So I changed it to "Never Step in a Spider."
Well, that's the reason that that image and that particular gag came about was when we were starting to first talk about the Vark Wars, and they were like, and I said, guys, I don't have Dante's Inferno with the door plates. I don't know. The only images I know are the ones that have already been used in Cerebus and Hell. I don't know, is there a backlog of images that we could use but we just haven't used? And they're like, oh, you just Google it. So I Googled door Dante's Inferno, and the first image that shows up is a half-naked Spider-Woman. I'm like, okay, I'm out, guys. This is the only image I can find, and I know Dave's not going to run it over and over and over again. I mean, it's this weird image that doesn't make any sense. This isn't what we're seeing in Cerebus and Hell, guys. You got anything, and so I think David Birdsong sent me, oh, here's a link to a digital copy of Dante's Inferno, and I'm like, okay, and I started looking, and that's, okay, now I can find images that fit what I'm looking for. But every time I Google Thor Dante's Inferno, the half-naked Spider-Woman shows up, and I shake my head like, okay, why is this the top image in the search? Why aren't we getting any other images?
Yeah, there's got to be a comic art metaphysics attached to that, I think.
Oh, I honestly believe it's
anybody else Googled it, they wouldn't get that, but Matt Dow gets that.
And of course, the first thing I think of, because, it's one of those, I kept getting it, and I'm like, okay, I'll put this aside. And then David Birdsong sent me 25 or 26 images of these are door plates that I've inserted service into that I sent to Dave. He hasn't used them. If you want to run them with the Genesis question commentary, go ahead. Because I've run out of pages of 289, 290. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, this will work. And I'm going through the images, and I come across image 22, and it's a half-naked Spider-Woman. I'm like, that's the origin of Spider-Verse. It's the only joke you could possibly do with that image is, this is the origin of Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I was very pleased the moment that the facts came in. It's like, oh, okay, that's the part that I was missing, because it is a very, very disturbing image. It's the lighting on it, and just and particularly the way it came in. Your fax has always come in very, very clearly for some reason. You're asking about the blue color in the background on the Superman parody that you did. And, does this just come through as mud? It's like, no, it actually came through like a half tone, which is very weird because most of the time it doesn't. And the darkness that was attached to it added a whole other element to it. I faxed you, I got Rolly to scan my mock-ups of the first 3 pages. So you get the first 3 pages of the never stuck in a spider storyline with 2 pages to go.
Okay.
I'm hoping to get the rest of those done today or tomorrow so that I can. And it's the first vertical Cerebus in Hell. It's like, if I'm going to do Steve Ditko, I definitely want to do 9-panel grid pages, and you can't do that in the Cerebus in Hell format.
Oh no, you're messing up the format. Sales are either going to skyrocket or plummet.
Well, either one. I'm pretty philosophical about skyrocketing and plummeting at this point. It's we just limping along with down by 250, up by 250, down by 250, up by 250. If you do LGBTQ, etc., and it just goes up by 250 because it's the issue that goes up by 250, and then Fornicators Incorporated goes down by 250. There's no real internal logic to this. We'll just keep going as long as we can keep going and try and stay a year ahead of everyone.